I just want to talk about a distinction in these 10-minute sessions that are recommended and mentioned in many texts. Wangchimpa, Karp Dorje, Aroyeshi Jungne, Nine Ways of Pointing Out. Um, Basically, if we're sitting in these 10-minute bursts that are recommended in Dzogchen and we're doing something and we're holding and we're expecting and we're trying to be entertained by the sense appearances and things like that, that's not in my opinion, respectfully, it's not a Dzogchen meditation because it's radically opposed to us. Let's take a snake, for example. There are the three modes of liberation and the snake untying itself. So if I'm here in the 10-minute meditation, even if I'm feeling good, typically there's something to untie. And I'm allowing that by resting with my eyes open. If you're further along, I suppose it wouldn't matter, but eyes open, senses open, and it's a full just allowing of what's here. You see? Okay, you guys are getting famous on YouTube. People are starting to talk about the dogs. I saw that. It's pretty much 50-50. It seems like some are in favor of the expressions of creativity, others are not. But let me really accent this distinction. All right, if you're coming here and your 10-minute meditation and you're expecting something to happen, if you're holding, preoccupied, then you're doing another doing on top of all your doings, and there's no chance of relief. Right? That's why I'm accenting this. That's why I'm proclaiming it the way I am, because it's vital to the Dzogchen approach and true liberation. All right, freedom comes from that. Otherwise, we're just sort of coming here to watch a show, a TV show. You know, might as well. There's way better stuff to watch. So, for many of us, this has become a precious time, 10, 20 minutes, to allow these knots to unravel. And they can be pretty deep. When we gather in a group like this with um, all the support of our lineage and ancestors and the world of meditators, really, we have this great support here that I feel like many of you are cherishing, but others are kind of blind to it. It's when you come in here and you rest, it's this chance, this opportunity to be here with your experience, to let it self resolve, to let it self harmonize, to re empower yourself, to reinvigorate your mind. Ah. So, Dzogchen is the highest meditation because that right there is very difficult. So, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying we have to be real with ourselves. If we're caught up in that preoccupation, that's a holding, and we're doing something during the meditations, this is antithetical to the Dzogchen epistemology. Couldn't think of a better word there. Praxis, approach, right? I think everybody understanding. Radical difference between someone being here in allowance and being here doing something or waiting for something to happen, waiting to be entertained. Because that's definitely not going to happen until the talking part of our group. then you should have no problems being entertained. But this is how this is a little virtual meditation center here. It's got some power to it, and I hope that everyone can take that time in the first half hour. It's very, very precious time to allow, okay? Because there's a lot that can be unraveled psychically and psychophysically throughout your nervous system, chakras, energy points throughout the body. There's a lot that can come undone. We need to take advantage of these short bursts, as they're known, right? And you can even follow the four foundations of mindfulness, just like it says in the canon from Shakyamuni Buddha, just resting the body, resting the emotions, breathing into the presence, resting the thinking mind, resting the environment, these four foundations of mindfulness. And then they're all here naturally within our awareness. Just like space permeates everything, the mountains, the trees, the buildings, the cars, well, our awareness does the same. And I tried to position myself, what would it be like? Because couldn't really remember in my experience to totally be in the thinking and somebody's talking to you about awareness. And I realized it's probably very difficult to see awareness when you're only used to having thoughts to figure stuff out. And so we try our best, right, to share this with people, and because that's a huge factor in letting be and effortless abiding. You can't just be here with your eyes open if you're in the doing. If you're in the cycles, you need an alternative. You need some other place to be. And so we'll start to exit out of the cycles into space like awareness. If you have thoughts right now of trees and mountains, you know you just had thoughts of trees and mountains because there was mind there. There's pure naked cognizance or awareness that's holding those thoughts about the trees and mountains. If you're feeling very happy right now, there's awareness permeating that happiness. You know you're feeling happiness. If there's tension in your thumb, you know it. If right, if there's a feeling in your knee right now, you know it because awareness is permeating your body. If there's any sounds, changes in the visual or the temperature, anything like that, the smell, you will know it. Awareness permeates all that. If I smell something strange right now, awareness knew I smelled something strange. So there was the me, the egoic consciousness present in my awareness. There was the act of smelling within my awareness. There was thoughts about smelling within my awareness. There was a feeling of contraction or expansion within awareness. You see, that's why they call it the nature of mind. Just like if it was sparks of fire, if it was a lighter, if it was a campfire, if it was an oven fire, they would all have the nature of heat, right? So your whole experience has the nature of cognizance. And so we hook on that cognizance, you can actually relocate yourself into it. So now you're abiding more like space, like spaciousness, rather than this very turbulent movement, the energetic aspect, right? So you're relocating from the energetic aspect to the cognizant aspect. And after you've been pointed, they call it pointing out instructions or pointing out advice. It's kind of a mnemonic. It reminds you of this place that you've always been in. Um, and in Dzogchen, that's what they call it. In other places, they may have different names. And once you get pointed to this very, very simple awareness, they say it's too simple, right? Naguma, the great yogini, has mentioned that and her stages of illusion. And then Dujum Rinpoche's elaborate on Longchenpa's elaborate. Garb Dorje has it in his 55 verses of chapter 30 in the Kunya Gapo. Every one of them say it's so simple that people just won't see it. It's too simple. It's this very awareness that you're hearing me with right now. And if you have some thoughts like, oh, I wish you'd stop talking about awareness, those are within your awareness too. So this is all inclusive and why it's so potent. All right. This is very potent practice because there's nothing outside of your awareness. So even um, our memory bank, our storehouse aspect, like where are your childhood memories hiding right now? Where's your favorite food, the memory of your favorite food hiding right now? Awareness is reaching those places too. So it's truly liberating as you're sleeping, as you're walking, standing, lying down, sitting. Yes. So I hope that makes sense. The, the overall summary would be that the difference in meditation approaches between letting be, allowing for that unraveling, and being stuck in the movement in that preoccupation of mind. And so you may even assume that not scratching an itch is trivial. For example, if you just sit through an itch, it may even sound like I'm trying to torture you. But I recommend that because if you can sit through that itch, you can sit through when the mind's itching at you. You can sit through an emotional wave of sadness or existential dread. Pick your favorite. But we tend to give them a lot of credit. Like if I had a wave of depression right now, um, it's very possible for me to start to think about that, contract into it, and really prolong it and complicate it. You see, and that's in modern psychology too. So I hope that makes sense. Very very easy difference between uh, effortless abiding and self liberation and actual effort based practice. Right? Yes, Ian, jump on in there.
Thanks. I fixed the mic last night. So, Dawai, you know, this is kind of interesting. So, where I'm reading in this book, Dzogchen, I'm new to this, and it said that right where in that paragraph, there's a paragraph that I read, and you summed it up. You said exactly what it read. And I need to be introduced to the view, the awareness. And I wanted to ask you if you can help me with that, if you could point me to the view.
Well, I can try to get you started. Can you sit comfortably in front of me where you can see me, and we can sort of almost like we're talking face to face. All right, very good. All right, is there any chance of leveling it out? Sorry to be picky. It's just yeah. So we're kind of like yeah. Now you get it, Ian.
Okay. That's a little bit better.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
So let's just relax, okay? And even if it's awkward, let's keep eye contact, okay? Stay with me. So this presence here, yeah, now you see. It's okay to smile. Very good. It's just get, it's getting a little bit funner and funner every time. Now you see it, yeah? And of course, you'll have thoughts about that. The thoughts are also within this pure presence that's here with us. See, you were ready for that. You have some meditation background? I
A
think you
little,
do, right?
a little.
Oh,
Nothing like this is a new experience for me.
oh, hell yeah. Welcome to the mandala, my friend. Yeah, Muji vibes achieved. Laughing Buddha status. That's great. The only thing that can really get in your way after this recognition is that, you know, complicating that simplicity of the pure presence with thoughts or with some kind of doubts or fears. Because naturally, within the pure presence, we're here, we're free. That for a moment there, even now, we're in enlightenment. You see?
Hmm.
And this simple awareness that's with us, this simple awareness that's with us, it's always held us. You see, it's always held us, hasn't it?
Mm.
It's familiar to you right now. That's why you're laughing. It feels good.
It feels
It,
good.
it's my savior, brother. It's my savior. My mind was tormenting me. I mean, tormenting me. I had rage issues, all kinds of stuff going on. And to be able to see this alternative, to see this other part of our mind, this is your mind, okay?
Mm.
And now you may get some challenges that come up today and tomorrow and the next week. But if you can stay with the group and stay with the teachings, then you will have a major shift in a very short time.
Thank you.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you for being so open hearted. That's going to only benefit you on this path. That honesty, that transparency that you came with, that open heartedness. I bet you people know you as an honest person, don't they?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Okay, maybe I'm reading that wrong.
I
But you
don't
came,
take too much credit. You know,
well, you came here very honest and open. He's like, well, actually, I do lie a lot.
I work pretty hard to tell the truth and come with an open heart.
Yeah,
Because a bit large part of me finds little, tries to look for little ways to be dishonest, and somehow I've been trained through other teachings to really take a look at that and work toward honesty. You know.
yeah. Well, here the practice is, and I just say that to everybody, as a reminder, is is doing nothing. We have to get used to doing nothing while we're doing something. So if you find yourself taking a walk, let it be. If you find yourself getting sad, that's a doing, but let it be. Because these are pre programmed cycles, they have momentum. So now you're dealing with the inertia, and you're in a kind of hypnopompic state. You're waking up, you're sobering up now. And the hypnopompic Dzogchen state can take, a month, uh, maybe 3 months to really get into it, depending if you get a major detour or not. But after that, you start to really abide in awareness because awareness now is like a sun, depending on your past or lack thereof, lack of obscurations. Awareness is going to be like a sun that's dawning on your life, your entire life, night and day. And so, if you have a lot of background, that sun is going to dawn, obviously, in a seemingly faster way. See, that's why we're actually practicing instant enlightenment because we just we're abiding right now, everybody, in instant enlightenment. There's absolutely nothing that's unenlightened, right? So that's not just something I'm saying. That's something that when we stop saying stuff, that's what presents itself. It's this beautiful purity within presence. So we take that fruit as the path. The only sense of gradation and the temporal sense is because of us, because of our patterns. It's not that enlightenment is gradual or instant. Enlightenment has already always been here. It's us that becomes gradual in the cessation, that inertia, that hypnopompic. I'm gonna start calling it the hypnopompic Dzogchen state because it really is like we're waking up and it's in that in between stage. When you're waking up, in the morning or something like that, and your little drowsy mind hasn't kicked in just yet, and might be seeing weird stuff. Might be still halfway in the dream, and
I
so
like
it's an
it.
interesting state from a contemplative science point of view. But anyway, so that's what after we get pointed out to the nature of mind through the blessings of these yogi lineages, um, we start to because it's not going to be very powerful at first. It's going to be like a sun that's just coming up. So that's why it's important to stay with the group, stay with whatever teachers that you're trusting or getting to know, stay with the texts and the teachings, and things like that, so that if a few guardrails are in place at the beginning after you're pointing out. At least in this group, because I give the pointing out so liberally and I sneak it up on people, um, I have to always now include that caveat that you know you have to stick with this if you want the awareness to really dawn on your life, right? That's kind of to everybody, not just for Ian. I'm just saying that the degree of your realization is dependent on your degree of refuge and awareness, right? So the more you have refuge and awareness itself, this naked, simple awareness, just letting things be, getting used to that, the more you have that self liberation happening. Very beautiful self liberation, but you can see yourself knotting things up and not allowing self liberation. You can start to notice that. Okay, very good. Any other questions? Anything going on then? Thank you so much, Ian.
I wanted to mention the. I don't know if you mentioned the 1 month waiting period.
Yeah, it is about a month to 3 months, I would say, before awareness really starts dawning in a significant way where you can start considering effortlessness. I mean, we're practicing effortlessness. That's what we're getting used to. But as far as not having to be reminded and not having to adjust and sort of focus yourself into effortlessness, that it is a calibration because we're used to doing upon doings upon layers of doings, and we're used to those dimensions. You know?
Specifically,
The dimension in Latin is murdum or something like that. Very interesting word for academic fencing, where they cut each other. Uh, Old school academic fencing. It's just like that. You cut yourself. You're stuck in a small space, cutting yourself when you're stuck in thoughts and emotions.